So basically, the most influential philosophy or theory which affect and influence mankind, especially for those who are working class and working in different organizations, that theory known as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow defined five basic needs for a person to be looking as the aware of the different aspects. So we will learn what are those theories are and how it affects the life of the people working in different organizations or they have their own business. So Maslow hierarchy of needs basically is asking for the first need, very basic need, which is required by all human beings or person or any living entity who are inhibited in this globe, in this land, in this earth, and that is physiological. It's very common that every living creature needs air, water, warmth, shelter, and these are the basic things. Because you cannot live without air, without water, without warmth, or shelter. The second need, and when this need fulfilled, then comes to the second. So initially, people, human being or living thing, strive and struggle for the first need, which is air, water, warmth, and shelter. When this need you, you see completed or met, when this need met, then comes to the second, which is safety, security, and protection of himself, which is safety from threatening objects or situations, safety from the awkward phenomena or situations. So this is the second need. Then when the first need fulfilled about having the air and the clean water and the warmness and the shelter, then it becomes the second need what? That we strive for is safety and living, total living, state of living. For that matter, we need safety from the threatening object. So we are talking about the second need, which is safety, security need. Safety from threatening objects or a situation. The third need is love and belongingness. This is the third instance. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to have with their peers some sort of attachment, whether the people or whether the objects or some other stuff. Because a love and the belongingness is the natural. So this is the third need. The fourth need is self-esteem need. What is the self-esteem need basically? It is desire for competence, achievement, independence, confidence in oneself in front of the others. Because self-esteem is that I am a different, I am a different uniqueness. Not everybody is equal. It is bad to think about it. It is wrong. It is not right. This concept that everybody is equal and has to be equal. No, everybody is not equal. Neither lower nor higher. Everybody is unique. Everybody is unique. So a person has a different characteristics. Another person has a different characteristic. So what is happening? That Everybody wants that his competence, his skills, his achievement has to be recognized. And he has to be somewhere independent because independence is the basic right, it's basic intrinsic of a human being. And he wishes to be confident in someone, on himself, in front of the others, in front of someone else. So, what is important? Important is that you must attain any content, whatever fields you would like to join, one field or two field, or a different skills like. And the second part of self-esteem needs is the desire for prestige, status, recognition, importance, appreciation by others. It is very it is normal phenomenon that everybody um, yeah, has desired that he has to be respect, prestige, he should have the recognition from the society and from the people. So this is the second part of the fourth level of this Maslow hierarchy. So, and the fifth one, it is a self-actualization. What is that? It is basically address the desire to fulfill one's potential. What a man can be, he must be. What a man can be, he must be. What? What it does mean? That if you wishes to be a good uh, HR officer or a personnel officer or engineer or chemist or whatever you want to do, so you have to fulfill your potential. It's your desire that your potential is basically dragging you towards the destination where your skills of, uh, of, of your intrinsic skills of your achievement can be recognized by the people. And your skills, your abilities to be known. And you must accomplish those needs. So, what is the Maslow hierarchy of needs basically? Is you all, when you finish at the first stage, what the basic needs of if you have a good ear without you see pollution, you have clean water, you have a warmness in the winter, or coolness in the, or the shelter you require for the summer. So these are the basic needs. And afterwards, safety and security needs, and then you become alive by having the air, water, warm, and shelter that you have need protected from threatening objects or situations. And the number three is you need love, belonging, gas. It is your inherent part. It is your herd instinct that you want that your race or your species is converted to gain, flourish, and self. And when this need is completed, then comes self. When the love, when the love, safety, and security and stability is completed, self esteem needs for the desire of competence, achievement, and lastly, self actualization needs that yourself has to be recognized and actualized in a different manner. The second theory is knuckling social motives. So McLennan, social motives are basically a couple of needs but having a different path. Number one, the most cardinal need, the need for achievement. McLennan says the person wants to seek challenges but achievable goals, outperforming someone else. Need, he wants, he wishes, meeting or surpassing a self-imposed standard of excellence, striving to make a unique contribution, want immediate feedback and performance. Very important. The wishes, we want that you should be recognized immediately when you perform well. And the second one, the need for influence of power, acquiring a reputation and position, which means the public will evaluation, public will have to evaluate his performance, public will have to evaluate his personality. So, so that he can influence his personality or power, whatever it is, on the social, in the society, in the social arena. Having a control of situation is another very important. But we are also talking about the need for affiliation. Everybody wants to be affiliated, regardless of gender, regardless of sex. The need for affiliation, being part of a group or team, is required with the family or part of a mahalla, or part of a club, party. So being a part of a group or team, being liked and accepted, the wishes, the wants, every human being wants to be liked and accepted in the society, maintaining positive and interpersonal relationships, being involved with people in the work situation, minimizing conflict. People don't want conflict, honestly speaking. They don't want it. But sometimes many other factors make them uh, such a, such a, I mean, drag them in such a situation where he willingly or unwillingly involve or participate in. Otherwise, humanly, naturally, they don't want conflicts. So training and motivation, another important part of the theory. That number one, what the training should do in perspective of these couple of theories. Number one, the achievement. So he has to set tasks that are neither too easy or too difficult. Recognize their achievement, the positive feedback. Number two, the affiliation. Make individuals feel at home. Whenever you're talking, whenever you're giving training, whenever you are giving them uh, concept, to make them comfortable, provide an ample opportunity of interaction, provide ample of opportunity for interaction, make an individual feel at home, at ease. So this is the second one, the affiliation. So number one is the achievement. Number two, set tasks that are either neither too easy or too difficult. Recognize their achievement by positive feedback. Number two, affiliation to make individual people at home, provide ample of opportunity for interaction. Number three, you must get influence. What is influence? Give ample of opportunity for participation, syndicate work, individual presentation. Everybody wants to be a good man. Everybody wants to be known. What will happen? You have to give ample of opportunity for participation, syndicate work, individual presentation. And number four is the physiological. So physiological learning environment is appropriate, right amount of the light, heating, and so whenever you are giving the training, you must ensure that learning environment is appropriate. It is good. It is good for the participants, for the trainees, that they are enjoying the enough light and heating and other arrangements in the training class. Motivation in trainer again, very especially very especially address the issue of security. To make participants feel at ease by reducing tension and anxiety, you must talk to them politely. You must have a good interaction with your trainees. So while giving the training, you must create an environment where every participant feels secure and create purposeful, informal, relaxed atmosphere. So number six is self-esteem. So what is that? It is basically make people feel good about themselves. Do not disgrace anything. Do not discard anything. Don't try to be foolish. So make people feel good about themselves. the fact that they are properly respected, they think that they are given complete or reasonable attention. So give them tasks that are stretching, but ones in which they have good chance to succeed. If criticism is required, make them recognize the flaw themselves to commit themselves for improvement. Whenever you see that there is the need of criticism, and you have to be critic, some sort of a critic, to become a critic of somebody else's work, you must be required to make themselves recognize the flaw themselves committed for only one purpose, and which is improvement. Only one person, which is improvement. Next one is the self-improvement. So please support them in achieving their goals the way they see appropriate. Support them in their assignments, in their work, in their knowledge. Self-directedness, which is very important, that provides them opportunity to set their own learning objectives, where appropriate choice in the way in which they learn. It will make them comfortable in the training part. Another important theory is expectancy theory. Expectancy theory basically suggests that a person's behavior is based on three factors. A person's behavior is based on three factors: expectancy, instrumentality, and the words. Expectancy theory basically suggests that learning is most likely. So, expectancy theory suggests that the learning is most likely to occur when employees believe, what believe, they can learn the contents of the program. It is expectancy, the expectation that they can learn the content of the program. Number two, learning is linked to outcomes such as better job performance, salary increases, or peer recognition. They must have this sort of instrumentality that this is the instrument, this training is the instrument which is directly linked with their pay, which is their performance appraisal and their recognition. So training has to be designed and given in that manner that instrumentality has to be covered from your training. The employee value these outcomes, and this is very important to recognize. So we derive an equation from that. The expectancy, which means the effort that leads to performance. So does training have ability to learn? So you must have this sort of expectancy being a trainer in your mind, that does training have the ability to learn? Does training believe he can learn? So that has to be multiplied, that is with time, by instrumentality. So what is instrumentality? Instrumentality is basically the performance leading to outcome. So does training believe training outcomes promised will be delivered? So that has to be instrumental for themselves for getting higher pay, getting higher position or recognition. So that has again multiplied by the valence. What is valence? Valence is the value of outcome. If our outcomes related to training valued, when they learn these skills and from the training, if they learn uh, a required outcome from their training, they must have that sort of a belief that this training is valued, and that is the good. This is, you see, the formula of expectancy theory equation of the theory we can try. When we talk about the adult learning theory, which is the number one is pedagogy. What is pedagogy? This is how to deliver your seminars or deliver your workshop or given learning or education somewhere. This is called pedagogy. And very open and free explanation. So pedagogy is basically the art and science of teaching children and youth. It is from the basically Greek word pedo, which means children, and gorgeous, which means education. To give the instructor major responsibility for making decision about learning, content, method, and evaluation. You have to give the major responsibility to the trainer. He must collect these all sorts of the content method and with evaluation instruments. So students generally seen as being passive recipients of direction and content. Number two, bring few experience that can serve as resources to the learning environment. The pedagogy, what are the principles of the pedagogy? It is very important for the trainers, very important for the faculty members, it's very important for the teachers. So pedagogy principles are they need to know only what the teacher teaches. They need to know what the teacher teaches. Second, self-concept of teacher. Learners are dependent people. Learners are just dependent. What are you delivering to them? So they are just listening, they are just learning. So learners are dependent people. The number three principle is the role of experience. Only teacher's experience is valid. It is generally understood that the teacher experience is valid. He has the valid knowledge. Number four principle is readiness to learn. Only what the teacher determines them to learn. And it will be the learning. Orientation towards learning. Discipline as content acquisitions. It is orientation towards learning. Motivation, external factors, grades or the marks and this makes them motivate. So these are the principles of the pedagogy. So andragogy is basically the art and science of teaching men, people. It is again a Greek word which means andros means man and gorgeous means educated. Assumptions. Adults have need to know why they are learning something. Adults, the students, they have need to know why they are learning. Adults have to need to be self-directed of what they want to be. But again, another phenomenon. Adults brings more work-related experience into learning situation. Adults enter into a learning experience with a problem-centered approach to learning. Important. Adults are motivated to learn by both intrinsic and extrinsic motivators. It is uh, another learning acronym or a philosophy which is called synagogy or cooperative learning. Instructional use of small groups so that students work together on their own and learn from each other. It is assumptions that learning by nature is an active endeavor. It is inside in you. It is your endeavor. Different people learn in different ways. It is again inside. And secondly, it is not simply putting people in groups and asking them to work on assignments. It is not simply like that. Group must have goals to achieve. Participate participants participants who work in concert, encouraging and facilitating one another's effort to complete tasks and achieve goals. Trainers act as an observer, an advisor, coach, and a consultant. So this is called the synagogue. And when we interpret them, the learning cycle, in fact, which is complete experience CE, which we call when we teach people, complete experience learning by feeling. It is very important that you are learning and you're feeling that there's something is something to your heart and the mind is coming into your soul and you're looking for the information or for the new knowledge. It is being infusing in your soul and in your mind. So that is a learning by feeling. This receptive experience-based approach to learning. Theoretical approach is unhelpful. Sometimes it's helpful, but sometimes it is not always as helpful as the learning by the feeling. To best learn from specific examples in which they become involved, relates well with people. It has to be using the society of people. So your all example has to be related with the people. So sensitive to feelings and people, you must have to be sensitive because you are relating with the people. So it is important. Another way, the oriented towards peers and less towards authority in their approaches to learning. Because the authority must have some sort of a fear, which is subordinates obviously with fear. They're afraid of their seniors because of their job, because of their status, because of their other powers and privileges. So what is the best way? Best way is the peers have to be doing equal or a comfortable you see, status. It is one of the solution, not applicable in all cases, but mostly every subordinate must have some sort of peers towards his senior. So reflective of observation, that is another way of learning, so which is the learning by watching and listening. So tentative, impartial and reflective approach to learning, which is rely rely heavily on careful observation in making judgments, view things from different perspectives, look for the meaning of things, and prefer learning situations such as lectures that allows them to take the role of impartial objectives or observers. This is basically for the reflective observation, in which the person, the people, and the trainer and the trainee is learning by watching and listening. Another part is the abstract con- conceptualization. Abstract conceptualization, which is what is that? It is basically you're conceptualizing the situation, learning by thinking. What is important in this? It is an analytical, conceptual approach to learning, relies heavily on logical thinking and rational evaluation. It is very important that you are relies on heavily thinking on rational evaluation. Sometimes it is known well, relies heavily on logical thinking and rational evaluation. Act on intellectual understanding of the situation. Intellectual understanding of the situation. You know, when the situation is happening, you grasp the situation, what the object and the people are acting and reacting. When you logically thinking, then scenario will change. And the rational evaluation will come out. Will be the outcome of the situation, and will come out from their talking or from their differences or from their any sort of behaviors. So act on intellectual understanding of a situation, learn best in authority directed in personal learning situations that emphasize theory and systematic analysis, frustrated by unstructured discovery learning approaches like exercises and simulations. So they don't like basically exercises and simulations. So they want actively participation in the learning facilities or learning activities. The active experiment, which is called AE, that is learning by doing, which I was talking about before. Active doing orientation to learning. Learn best when they engage. Learning best when they engage in projects who work a small group discussion, able to catch work done. Risk takers influence people and humans through actions and diverging. What is diverging? Feelings and watching. Somebody's watching me. Somebody's looking at me. This sort of a feeling naturally sometimes encourage you or sometimes discourage you. When the seniors is watching you, will try to make your best in front of them. So these people are able to look at things from different perspectives. Who the your seniors or other people if they are there. They are sensitive. They prefer to watch rather than do, tending to gather information and use imagination to solve problems. They are best at view concrete situations, several different viewpoints. Paul called as style. Paul, very renowned and popular, the psychologist, called this style diverging because these people perform pattern situations that require ideas generation, for example, brainstorming. People with a diverging learning style have broad cultural interest and like to gather information. They are interested in people, tend to be imaginative and emotional, and tend to be strong in the arts. People with the diverging style sometimes prefer to work in a group, to listen with an open mind, and to receive personal feedback. So basically, diverging feeling and watching, people are able to look at things from different perspective, and which is it is very unlikely happening in our society, in our corporate culture. However, strengths you see diverging feeling and watching. You see when you feel and you're watching when you feel when you're involved in it, and when you watch when you're out of it. So strength. I mean, you must have two type of your life influences. Uh, Sometimes you are part of it, and sometimes you are out of it. And when you become a part of it, then you realize in a better sense when you are part of it. And when you are out of it, you will realize the situation by the act of the other people, by the information you obtain from the other resources. So imaginative ability, it is in strength, understanding people with imagined problems, brainstorming, paralyzed by alternatives cannot make decisions. It's too much when the paralyzed by alternatives. Too little, no ideas, can't recognize problem opportunity. You are out of it. Developing divergence skills. What is that? Divergence skill basically being sensitive to people's feelings and being sensitive to values and listening with an open mind. Another word which is you see assimilating. Assimilating learning preferences for a concise, logical approach. Idea and concept are more important than people. Idea and concept are more important than people. This is assimilation. And these people require good, clear explanation rather than the practical opportunity. They excel at understanding wide-ranging information and organizing it in a clear, logical format. People with an assimilative learning style are less focused on people who are more interested in the ideas and abstract concepts. People with this style are more attracted to logically sound theories than approaches based on practical value. These learning style people is important for effectiveness in information and sincere careers. In formal learning situations, people with this style prefer readings, lectures, exploring analytical models, and having time to think and think through and so on and so forth. And another very important part which I would like to cover in this lecture that is accommodating, doing and thinking. The accommodating learning style is hands-on and it relies on intuition rather than logic. These people use other people's analysis and think practical, experiential, experiential approach. They are attracted to new challenges and experience and to carrying out different plans. They commonly act on gut instinct rather than logical analysis. People with an accommodating learning style um, will tend to rely on others for information, then carry out their own analysis. This learning style is prevalent and useful in those requiring action and initiative. People with an accommodating learning style prefer to work in teams, to complete tasks, to set targets, and actively work in the field, trying different ways to achieve an objective. So this is the accommodating, and which we have discussed in at length previously. The trainers type inventory. Number one, trainer. You are a trainer. So number one, you have to be very good listener. So listener, what do the listener? Creates effective learning environments. Number one, train concrete experiences. Feeders effectively. Feeders effectively. Train concrete feeder effectively. Because when the people ask, when the people talk, and you listen calmly and quietly, they feel comfortable and they create their confusion. They will clear their confusion. It shows that everyone is heard, shows awareness of individual group member needs, these non-verbal behavior. What is non-verbal behavior? I mean, sleeping, boring, or something. You try to read it. As a trainer, it's your responsibility to try to read non-verbal behaviors. So perfect trainers talk more than the trainer, wants learners to be self-directed and autonomous, exposes own emotions and experiences, feels comfortable with all types of expression. Stay here and now. You have to be living the situation. You have to be living the seconds and the minutes and the hour. Listener is practical, appears relaxed and unhurried. Then, all right, just finish it. Okay, I understand. No, don't do that. Listen, relax, unhurried. You must not be hurried. That, all right, I understand. I'm sorry. Try to try to explain your training, what you want to say completely. Number two, the trainer is the director. Trainer is the director. First training was the trainer was the listener, and now the trainer is the director. What he directs? He directs a perceptual learning involvement. Train reflected the observer most effectively. Take charge, gives directions, prepares notes and outlines, appears self-confident, is well organized, uses lectures, tell participants what to do, ask them. So Tao of coaching is asking or by telling is the different Taos of the coaching. Limits and controls participants. This is another very important sometimes. And in the third part of the trainer is interpret. The trainer has to create symbolic learning environment, trains the abstract conceptualizer most effectively, encourages learners to memorize and master terms and rules, integrates theories and events as to integrates. And this theory is the applied here that has to integrate, that has to integrate. Separate self from learner. Share the idea but not feeling. Share ideas but not feeling. You have to defeat what is being told by the old philosophers or the psychologists. Don't express your feeling because you need to develop basically ideas first. And then discussion will decide that you have to go, what sort of a feeling you should have or you need to that. So uses theory as foundation, presents well constructed interpretations. It's very important that all presentation has to be well constructed. Listens for thoughts, often overlooks emotions. Thoughts are more important because it is factorized, it is manufactured inside of a human being. And sometimes thoughts and emotion have the wrong equation or misleading equation. So therefore, you need to listen. You need to give more attention to the thoughts, and sometimes you need more attention to the emotions. However, the general rule is looks for our thoughts, often overlook emotions. So uses cases studies, lectures, readings. It's all right because you are the interpreter. the third role, being interpreter, and encourage learning to think independently. It is very good. It is very good to ask your trainees that you should learn independently what you want to do and what is basically the theme of your lecture. Your final role and your most important role is being the coach. It's your fourth role as a coach. So being a coach, you have to create behavioral learning involved. Behavioral learning in your body language, your non-verbal expressions, both have to be very clear. And you must create an environment when the interest of your trainees remain intact. Trains active, experimental, most effectively allows learners to evaluate their own progress, involves trainees in activities, discussions. Everybody should participate in your lecture, in your seminar, or in your class, or in your training sessions. Everybody should drag or take and ask and encourage your trainees who is quiet and somewhere who is looking disenchanted to drag in and involve in training. Encourages experimentation with practical applications. Important. You have to encourage a practical application with the experiment. So draws on any strength of the group, uses trainees as resources. Those trainees are your resources. They are very, very important resources for the learning purposes. Help trainees to visualize what they already know, act as facilitator to make the experience more comfortable and meaningful, and use activities, projects, and problems based on real life. Try to create a situation where the real life you see phenomena and the real life situation arise. So encourage active participation. It is very important that you must keep all participants in your training program. They must participate in your learning activities and get into learning. So this was the basically our lecture on learning theories and learning pedagogies and learning styles.